Good evening. This is STV News. The Ministry of Defense announced on the 11th that the Japanese and U.S. governments have held formal discussions on the Japanese side's burden for the USFJ stationing expenses after 2021, since the transition period of the new U.S. administration and the deadline for the agreement at the end of the March next year are closed. It seems that the Japanese side has proposed to make agreement that had been concluded in 5 years provisional for 1 year. The two governments will continue to negotiate. The three governments of Japan, the United States, and Brazil agreed to hold the first meeting of the Japan-US-Brazil talks in Brasilia to strengthen policy coordination and economic cooperation on regional affairs. From Japan, Mr. Sadaji Hayashi, Director of the Latin American Bureau of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, participated. It is said that it is the first time for the three countries to create a political and economic consultation framework. 15 countries, including Japan, China, South Korea, and members of Association of Southeast Asian Nations, will hold a ministerial meeting on the 11th in the form of a video conference for the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership negotiations. They would like to discuss the remaining issues, such as dealing with India, which has withdrawn from the negotiations, and reach a general agreement at the summit meeting on the 5th. The ministerial meeting will be held for the first time in about a month since October. The yen exchange rate on the Tokyo foreign exchange market on the 11th was 105.25 to 26 yen per dollar as of 9 a.m., which was 23 yen weaker and stronger than the previous day. Kagawa Prefecture announced that the highly lethal and highly pathogenic bird flu outbreak occurred at the poultry farm in Mitoyo City. About 11,000 birds are slaughtered. This is the third outbreak in a domestic poultry farm this year, following another poultry farm in the city and Higashikagawa City in the prefecture. The popular anime movie, theatrical version, YAIBA, Infinite Train Edition, has been a record hit not only in Japan, but also in Taiwan, even in Southeast Asian countries where Japanese animation is very popular. It will be released in theaters, starting with Singapore, whether the blockbuster anime, which is cool, Japan's killer content, will work. The whereabouts will be watched. J1 KASHIWA announced on the 10th that a new player received a positive test in the PCR test for the new coronavirus. A total of 16 people were infected with corona in Kashiwa, including Director Nelshino. The athlete was negative on the 5th but had a sore throat from the night of the 9th and had a fever of 38.5 degrees on the 10th when he underwent the PCR test. And that's all for today. See you tomorrow for another news update.